Alright. How many of you guys have either seen a metal or a paper type of straw, some kind of plastic straw alternative around either campus or online? By like a show of hands. Alright, for sure. How many of you have actually gone out and purchased one of these things? Alright. Well, I'm here to tell you why buying one of those new metal straws or switching to paper straw alternatives may actually be hurting the environment rather than doing something better. So I know people want to make a difference by being eco-friendly, but they're being misled by false advertising and lying corporations. Um, so I'm here to tell you about all these different straw types and how you can make a change both in slow and in your own lives. So firstly, there's no questioning the negative effects of plastic pollution on the ocean, and plastic straws have been particularly impactful to sea life and large pollution levels, as you can see in the pictures here. A lot of fish species, and especially turtles, have confused floating plastic as food, and it gets caught in their bellies, noses, and throats, causing them a slow, painful death. Scientists at the UGA New Materials Institute conducted a new study which discovered microplastics, particles smaller than dust or powdered sugar, inside baby sea turtles. Of the turtles studied in the research, 100% were found to have eaten plastic. These baby sea turtles were likely dying due to ingested plastic pollution, which threatens their species overall. In another study done by Dale Buss in his book titled Taming the Tsunami of Plastic Waste, it was estimated that Americans use around 500 million plastic straws every day, and that 8.3 million plastic straws pollute the world's ocean and beaches, while 8 million tons of plastic flows in the ocean every year. Straws comprise only 1% of that, but the plastic comprises most of it. Yet the banning of plastic straws has become sort of like a trendy thing to get onto now. There have been a lot of campaigns led in various different places to ban the use of plastic straws, including here in our very own SLO, it's actually plastic straws are banned. And while it might seem to be very good for the environment, banning these plastic straws, I'm just going to explain why some of these other alternatives might be doing just as bad or even worse things to the environment. So paper straws were one of the first products released as a sustainable other option for plastic straws. So aside from their annoying nature of falling apart when you drink them and getting wet and papery taste, they're actually not that much better for the environment than plastic ones are. They eliminate the problem of just plastic floating around in the ocean and fish and other marine life eating them, but they're still not completely biodegradable, so small marine life can still eat it and get hurt from doing so. But they are also more energy intensive in manufacturing and transport. So there's a study showing that 80% it develops 80% more greenhouse gases than plastic straws do. A New York Times article titled "How a 9-Year-Old Boy's Statistics Shaped a Debate on Straws" discusses the problem of paper straws, saying, while it's true that paper straws aren't as harmful as plastic straws, this doesn't mean they aren't harmful at all. In fact, paper straws can still have many negative environmental effects, especially if they're improperly disposed of. This means they too can cause effects on marine life and the environment. More recently, stainless steel straws have kind of caught on as a trend too. I know I've seen them being sold even at our campus market and other stores around campus. These straws are advertised all over Amazon and other internet sites as highly sustainable because of their longevity. Because they're steel straws, so you can use them multiple times. They're seen as kind of a save the sea turtles movement, kind of like hydro flasks are. In truth, The manufacturing and transport of these straws makes them considerably worse alternatives to even plastic straws, primarily due to the CO2 emissions. So here are some charts describing or showing you the CO2 emissions. And as you can see, the metal one, which is the middle one, has almost 100 times as much CO2 emission as both plastic and paper straws put together. Most steel mines and manufacturing plants are also located in China, which contributes to the massive CO2 emission. Because of transport, you have to use planes and other motives to get it over to the United States, other parts of the world, which takes a lot of CO2. And while you may be able to use a straw on multiple occasions, people can break them, people can lose them, which makes a constant demand for them, therefore a constant CO2 pollution. While it may seem like there's no alternative and there's nowhere to run, let me show you the silver lining of the clouds and what you can do to help solve this problem. Firstly, there have already been changes to get rid of straws completely. Right here on campus, I don't know if you can see that right picture, but Starbucks offers cups that don't even have straws at all. They have this kind of lip part of it. While obviously it's still plastic and that's not good for it, it does eliminate like kind of the smaller plastic that is what turtles and smaller marine life are choking on. Secondly, if you want to make a bigger impact, you can simply just not use a straw. Like, you can just drink it from a glass cup, and or just not try to mix it up. But if you're really passionate about trying to make a change to the environment with your straws, you can bring it up with SLO County, either through a community service or a community meeting you can schedule, or starting a petition, which you can bring light to this problem. And that's how the plastic straw ban was actually formed. And lastly, according to a Society of Plastic Engineers, an article named Danimer Scientific creates the first fully biodegradable plastic straw. There is also a new straw being developed made out of wood pulp and cellulose powder, which is found like in wood also. And it's supposed to be 100% biodegradable, even better than paper straws. So those will be coming out soon. And I hope that I've taught you all a little bit about the problem of straws and the minute effects of banning just plastic straws. I hope you can use these ways I've given you to lessen your impact with straws, and I hope that I leave you with a desire to make a change. Thank you, and say no to straws.
Hey, teammates. I like how you showed like the other side of the argument with the